Keep Right with Ralph K. Ginorio. America, heck yeah! These stirring words, in reality a more salty approximation, begin the bombastic anthem for the 2004 film Team America World Police. Now, to be clear, this is absolutely not a movie fit for most people. In places, it is utterly vulgar. The writers and directors went out of their way to appeal to an emotionally adolescent audience. Despite featuring Jerry Anderson-style puppets, it is in no way fit for children. Do not see Team America World Police without researching it first, or you will be unpleasantly surprised. The movie's ultra-vivid and shockingly earthy aesthetic does presage the rise of Donald J. Trump. If one compares the way Trump publicly speaks with the official utterances of any other U.S. president in living memory, the differences between Team America and any traditional movie become clear. Recall Trump's recent statements that Israel and Iran have fought each other for so long and so hard that they no longer know what the F they're doing. This self-consciously conspicuous vulgarity is, for better or worse, a part of contemporary America. Perhaps this is in part a reaction against the politically correct speech controls which the woke have tried to shackle the rest of us. Despite all of this, Team America captures something crucially important about how the United States of America differs from every other society. Our national history is extraordinarily masculine. To many in today's feminized societies around the world, our willingness to sternly fight to protect freedom is problematical by reason or force. Our forebears wrested control over the wilderness from the natives and made of it a blank canvas upon which we Americans could paint our wildest dreams. One dream that we shared was that even within the most common of people, there existed uncommon valor and subtle wisdom. If human beings have value because we are made in God's image, and if individuals can learn reason sufficient to make thoughtful choices, then citizens should be free. In what pilgrims called God's New Israel, our cultural ancestors fought for freedom from the most powerful world empire of their time. Their victory created a new constitution under which every citizen could pursue their best destiny under God. Americans could do this without undue interference from the kinds of hereditary and self-made elites that rule most old world societies. Our unique American identity was not worked out for us by experts in royal palaces or bureaucratic offices. Instead, from the countless obscure struggles of rough common citizens to tame the wild frontier in pursuit of their personal dreams, a unique American character took form. Simultaneously, our nation split over two questions of liberty. As tragically ironic as it may seem to us today, most Southerners fought for local autonomy against an intrusive and potentially tyrannical federal government. They worried that a government that was empowered to end slavery against their will would have the power to end liberty itself. In essence, that is the same argument made about the Revolutionary War against the British. Meanwhile, the North fought to preserve the Union and later to end slavery everywhere within America. Countless people on both sides who could not read and who would never have the wherewithal to own a farm or a slave fought, killed, and died for what they were each certain constituted genuine freedom. Even when later the United States fought Spain and acquired an empire, most Americans did so to free Cuba from brutal Spanish rule. Americans then fought Filipino rebels to keep the Germans out of the Philippines, as well as to shoulder the civilizing mission which Rudyard Kipling called the white man's burden. In World War I, most Americans fought to stop another threat to our Union. Fearing that the U.S. would join the Allies, the Kaiser's German government promised Mexico a return of the desert Southwest if they joined the war on Germany's side. This promise provoked American intervention. 20 years later, before Pearl Harbor, the United States fought an undeclared war to protect Britain-bound convoys from U-boat attack. After Japan's sneak attack in World War II, Americans fought and won two simultaneous struggles on opposite sides of the globe against National Socialist Germany and against Imperial Japan. Then, when Stalin's Soviet Union expanded its control over Eurasia by both political and military means, Americans waged a long twilight struggle in defense of the free world. In 1947, with the Truman Doctrine, America accepted the responsibilities of global hegemon to keep the peace, the baton passing to us from a declining Britain. In Berlin and throughout Europe, the U.S. committed itself to deter communist aggression by protecting our NATO allies. In Asia and elsewhere, Americans fought communists in Korea and Vietnam, as well as in countless places most of us have never heard of. From the Cold War's end through President Trump's decision weeks ago to destroy Iran's subterranean nuclear facilities, Americans demonstrate an ongoing willingness to step up and fight for what seems to be good against evil. Since 1945, a Pax Americana has existed because we have deterred the commencement of a new general war, akin to Napoleonic Wars or World War I or II. Does some of this sound naive? Yeah, certainly it does. That is because the motives of most Americans are not steeped in old world cynicism. For better or worse, a critical mass of Americans truly, genuinely, uncritically, and unapologetically believe that we are a virtuous nation trying to do good. Such idealism is precious. Like any form of innocence, once lost, it can never return. Be clear. There's a special place in hell reserved for those who exploit the innocent. In the film Gettysburg, Maine Colonel Joshua Chamberlain, based on his writings, is given to say, if you look back through history, you will see men fighting for pay, for women, for some other kind of loot. They fight for land, power, because a king leads them, or just because they like killing. But we are here at Gettysburg for something new. This has not happened much in the history of the world. We are an army out to set other men free, unquote. With the exception of many of our wars with America's natives, the choices of a few in the South to perpetuate slavery into industrial times, and perhaps our fight with Filipino rebels, these words still largely ring true. Since World War II, we have even done so without making colonies. Instead, with the Marshall Plan and its analogs, we rebuild friend and foe after a war into free and independent states. In our willingness to extend freedom so widely and to actually fight for liberty so strongly, America is fundamentally different from every other nation on earth. We are a Redeemer nation, out to set and keep ourselves and others free. Happy Independence Day 2025, America, heck yeah!